So in just setting up my camera, I didn't realize I had it turned up here. So I am just doing that while you guys all join. How are you? Today is July 29th and we are coming to the close of our month of water. I think it's been a pretty great month. As you can see, I have been busy with prepping for next month, which we are going to be working on being present and being, let me just have a look. I'm going to put this square and see if I am actually square. Being present, and I'm gonna just, okay, it's not quite there. I don't know if that's right way. There's a little bit of a delay. Okay. Yeah. Good morning, Natty. Hi, C. So yeah, so if you haven't caught up with what we're working on next month, I am making zines for each day, and I'm going to, in the lives, I'm going to be painting the daily bird that I hear and something from outside that I've either seen, taken a photograph of, and so each morning I'll be still painting and painting on the back side of the zine, which is A3 size. And this is one of the zines. As you can see, I am already, I think I'm missing one. So what it'll look like is I'll probably do my front page and the back page, and then during the day, the times that I won't be live, I'll be writing down and sketching throughout the zine. But in the morning, I'm going to paint on the back side, so I'll have a whole scene of the bird and anything in nature that I want to include in my zine. So I have 30 zines, which I've got one more that I started that I was about to fold, and then I realized the time. So good morning, Kelly. Hi, Susan. Today is Susan's image. Where is this, Susan? I don't think I checked to see. Where did you say where it was? I don't think you said where it was. Tell us where it was. I'd love to know. Susan says very ambitious. No, because the painting side, even if I don't get it done at the weekends, I will still be able to do the inside of the zine. And really it's all about just jotting down, like I'm prepping a Padlet for paid subscribers, and in that Padlet we can each choose a day and either put the bird of the day for you, so people have inspiration if they just want to paint a bird a day. And then I'll also have I'll have my list, so things that I want to remind myself to watch out for, listen out for, and see. So, oh, that's watch. But if I've heard something, if I've seen something, and if I have, hang on, I have the paddle already. I'll show you guys. So I've called it August Dailies. And I have the Zoom play that we had, the replay. Oh, look, I've numbered that wrong. See, if I need to check everything before I send it out to you guys. So, and I didn't publish this here. So on day one, for example, I'm going to take day one. This will just give you a little bit of an idea. So I've got the poster in here, And if everybody takes one day and just put your name and just say your list for the day. So on one side, I'm going to do things I saw, paint things I saw before on my walk before the 7 a.m. to paint on the live YouTube or on the Zoom. And then my list is basically, for that side is bird, plants, trees, animals, streets, buildings. So anything that I can just quickly take a snapshot of in the morning, then I will. And then on the other side throughout the day, I'm going to have the title page and the end page. I haven't put that yet. And then things I see, things I've read, and things I hear. So it will just be an ongoing, like, sketch writing, drawing throughout the day. And I don't think that's too much. It's just having it with you. It could be sketching a movie in the evening, or it could be waiting at an appointment somewhere and sketching people. So yeah, so that's how my day is going to be. And then I was thinking of what we could include in the Padlet. And I think just putting things in your day, that would be kind of cool. And then people can go back and use the images that you've added. Or if you want to add a quote that you've heard or read that day, you can add that. So, and maybe we take like one thing and put it in our zine for that day from that person. That would be quite cool too. Let me get that image up again from Susan. Oh, okay. Susan says it's a loch in the Scottish Highlands. Thank you. I forgot the name. That's all right. Did you see the Loch Ness Monster when you were there? Oh, yes. I was going to show. I got it out for you, Maria. So yesterday we had our morning Zoom, and I was talking about Maria was talking about how she went to see the Decemberists, and Colin Malloy is married to Carson Ellis, and she just had recently an exhibition in Portland, Oregon, and it's 1 week in January, new paintings from an old diary, and there was a couple of write-ups about it and how she basically wrote a diary back when she was at college, and it was just a week diary, but she decided to illustrate it. And I love her illustrations, absolutely love them. So I'm just going to kind of flip through very quickly because I want you to either go and purchase it or to rent it from your library so you can read it. But yeah, the images are, so these are memories that she has from her diary. So obviously just using what is in her memory bank, which I think is great. I love her black and white illustrations that she does as well. But aren't they wonderful? Really, really love them. Anyway, so she had an exhibition in Portland as well. A gallery asked her if she would show her paintings. So yeah, pretty great. What's the book? The book is called 1 Week in January, New Paintings for an Old Diary by Carson Ellis. I should do a book a day when I'm on live. I think that would be great because I've got so many like illustration books and a lot of like art books. Maybe that would be nice to start the mornings off with a show and share from my shelf. I was thinking that this morning. I'm like, maybe I should do that. Susan says, we look for Nessie, but alas, could not find her. That's that's too bad. All right, so I also wanted to show you, yes, oh, I put this in because I didn't put this in the other day. This was Patricia's image from Japan. And then, so I left you guys yesterday and showed you, but then I added 14B to just darken some areas of the water. So that was Rashmi's image from yesterday. And today is Susan's image. I just put this on lock screen and do not disturb. Here we go. And I ran out of my good strong coffee, so now I'm having a weak coffee, which is not good, but it's okay. Maria says, yes, do it. Share your books. Yeah, maybe I'll do that in August. Maybe it'll be a little show and share in the beginning, because I do have, it would be nice for me also to remember like what books I have, because a lot of times I have piles as well that don't even fit on my shelves. So yeah, even if it's like a cookbook, I have some lovely cookbooks as well. Susan says, yes, show and share books would be wonderful. Okay. I'll do like a book a morning when I'm on live. I think that would be lovely. All right, let's get started. Well, this is a beautiful image and super moody. I may crop it a little bit. Just a little, Susan. I'm just going to crop it slightly, like so. Just take away a little bit of the sky. I was talking yesterday to Tammy about, because she had bought some lino cutting things, and I showed her, do you guys remember when I started, because not everybody did it, the month of upcycling, or actually I was supposed to do 100 days. I don't know if I got to like 20 days. Maybe I did get to 20. But this was the print, so I was showing her. And I thought that would be kind of nice to add, to maybe do an end page of the zine with our logos on. This is also taken from Hippo. Thank you, Hippo, because on the back of her zine, she has her logo, which I'm sure she carved out as well. But that would be kind of nice to write your name in a stamp, or your logo in a stamp, and then stamp it on the back so that you don't have to worry too much about the back. So I was thinking about that as well, and I don't know if we have time this week to do that. Anne says, Carson Ellis has a great presence on Instagram. She does. She does, Anne. And she's a beautiful writer as well, and she's on Substack too, Anne, if you want to go find her. She has a lovely voice for both written and, can you say you have a nice voice for pictures, or is it more vision? Another thing that I found while I was looking for, and I love them and I need to frame them, while I was looking for something the other day, I found these beautiful little gift cards, which I really do need to frame. I've given a couple away. I found them at a little craft flea market many years ago, and this lady was selling wares from Africa, and then she would bring in these handcrafted goods from Africa, and then she would send money back to the ladies who crafted them. Oh yeah, no, it wasn't Africa, it was India. Sorry everybody. Calcutta Rescue. and the proceeds went to clinics and schools and vocational training for the underprivileged in Calcutta. Anyway, she was always there every summer when my girls and I would go to this town, and my husband was scuba diving. And so I probably picked up about, I think I picked up about 10, but I've sent all the others, but I thought they would be really lovely. And it's, yeah, it's all hand embroidered, but isn't it lovely? Like all the little stitching. And I think embroidery is very similar to like painting, is that you have to fluctuate between larger stitches, smaller stitches, and just have that variety of stitches on your piece to make it look a little bit more interesting. Okay, I'm gonna get painting. I am, I promise. Okay, I have a lot of colors here that I can use, so I will be using those. Somebody asked if these were, I think it was Zespiol asked if these were a certain brand of brush, but no, they're called Golden Maple, and Sarah sent them to me, and they're great. She said that they're for facial, like makeup, face makeup, not face painting, just doing like makeup artists use these. They're very compressed, like they're very condensed in their structure, and they're not wobbly at all, which I really like. So I'm really enjoying them. I'm gonna use up some of this color that I've got here. Is everybody painting today's image? Let's just get a thin layer on here. Bonjour, Hippo. We were just talking about you. We were saying that we really like, or I was saying, I love including everybody in my conversation. I was saying that I really like your zines and how you have made a stamp. Did you make a stamp for your logo, or did you get it made? Because I was thinking it would be a great idea to do that for the back of our zine, so that, you know, instead of writing on it. I do have my stamp made. I'll show you, which I used for all the back of my gift cards. So it's blueshineart.com. So I have that. I could use that if I wanted to. That is years old. They don't go bad. They're pretty good. I'll show you. I can maybe do it in gouache and show you what it looks like. I don't know if this is dark enough. I'll do it somewhere where I can go over it. See? Blue Shine Art. So it's something that you could do for the back of your zines, which we were saying how we love that on the back of yours. Again, I was saying. And C says, yes, she is doing today's image. So today's image is brought to you by Susan Kane, and she recently went to Scotland with her family, and probably has a wonderful gallery of images that you can paint from, right, Susan? So I'm also, at the moment, I'm putting together a another course of the virtual art retreat. And we are definitely going to Tasmania. Tasmania? Yes. We've already been to Tanzania, which is on the opposite side of, it's on the other side of Africa, but we're going to Tasmania, which is by New Zealand, out there. And then other countries, I'm not 100% sure yet. There's a couple of Eastern European countries that we haven't been to, and there's a couple of Asian countries that we haven't been to out in Asia, and probably some Middle Eastern countries we haven't been to as well. So there's lots to explore still. So that's going to start up at the very end of or at the beginning of September. I was going to do the end of August, but we're still in our workshops. So good morning, Tammy, how are you? And Susan says, yes, Scotland is very beautiful. Hippo says, thank you. Oh, Hippo says, I did the big one back of the zine and I had a little one done for my envelopes. Did you receive your order? No, not yet. But I haven't been to the mailbox in a couple of days. So maybe it's in there. And Hippo says, Teresa received her order from my shop yesterday. Ooh, okay. And she's just in Toronto. Sometimes it takes like a day extra from Toronto, so I'll go and check today. Okay, I need it to be much brighter down here or much darker here, so I'll have to see. And then I'm gonna have to leave areas of oh, I didn't really crop it, did I? I'm gonna have to leave areas of light. If you are here, please say hi and let us know where you're from. I can see that there's quite a few people here, so it would be nice and lovely to know that you are or know where you're from, basically. Okay, so I'm going, this is kind of more red, so I'm going to do my mountain and then leave an area and then do oh, this is going right in the middle. That's okay. It's in my sketchbook, so that's okay. The horizon right in the middle, which I always say don't do, but I think this one's a little bit different because it's very it's very abstract. This one would have been great for our month of abstract April. Who's missing abstract April? Is anybody missing abstract April? That would be kind of a fun thing to do too, eh? To yeah, no, now my brain is overthinking because now I've got to think, no, I should probably not put that idea in my head because then I'll start thinking, oh, that would be kind of cool to change it up. Okay, you want to know? To do a whole the page of painting like I was going to on the paper, to cut it all up, to stick it down like we did in Abstract April, and then create a zine out of that. Inora Baron, hi from St. Louis. Oh, hi from St. Louis. It's 6 a.m. here. We have someone in our group who used to live in St. Louis. That's cool. Welcome, welcome. Did I say your name right? Inora? Tammy says she's from St. Petersburg, Florida, with a real feel temp of 99 this morning. according to my weather app. A real feel. What's a real feel? Does that mean it feels like? Because we have it feels like up here. And it's gonna feel like 39 today, which I know is very hot. Like extremely warm. Okay, so we're gonna soften in between the cloud, the misty cloud, and the bottom there. The flat brush is wonderful, but you have to be really careful with your mark making, that it doesn't look really too linear. So now I've got to break it up. Maybe just use the edge. So there's also, which I completely forgot about, there is also the 3 materials challenge happening in August. So you could, if you wanted to, if you can comprehend another addition to our zine, you could just do the zines in 3 materials every day. You can change it up. You don't have to do the same 3 materials for the whole month, but that may be a good idea, because then you're only using 3 materials each day, which means that it will help you not be overwhelmed. So you could choose, say I could choose this, like a pencil crayon. A pencil crayon, a pen, and if I wanted to say, what else do I have here? A pencil, crayon, a pen, and say my 14D. And that's all that I would use in the day. So, I mean, that's an idea. The only thing, I was going to do it, but I thought no, because then in the mornings, if I'm limited to that, I'm not going to be painting the bird, and I really want to paint the bird on the back. So, you know, you have to pick and choose what works for you, basically. But it's an idea, and it's a big community that does the three material challenge. So if you want to join that community to do that too, then you just need to tag them, and you'll see lots of people just using 3 materials. So it's an idea if you're interested. Olinda says, "Salut, hippo." Oh yes, it feels like. Oh, Natty says, "Shar, are you going to Mexico with a layover after October? Everyone entering US has to pay an entrance fee of $250. I don't live in the US, Natty, so no. I'm avoiding the US, Natty. Unfortunately, I have lots of lovely friends down there, but when I go to Mexico in February, because I'm not going to Mexico until February, I won't be going through the US. Fortunately, Canada is quite a large country, and we have great travel from Canada. Actually, friends of ours came up from the US to travel out of Canada because it was less expensive. Natty says it was 92 in Western New York, real feel. Yeah, it's like living in a sauna. I don't know how they do it. It doesn't seem safe or humane. Yeah, it's not okay. Because really, are you going to get that money back? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you're going to get that money back. That's okay, Marie Claire. It's okay if you are not on time for this. Yeah. Hippo says, I will try to do the 3 materials challenge, but quick drawing in a little sketchbook. Will you use it? Like, is the 3 materials challenge like limited to that day? Like, I could use it for the part of the day that I just take my zine with me, so the one side, but not for the other side. Okay, need some. I'm gonna soften this as well with a clean brush, but I just want to get the edges a little bit softer. And if you're here, don't forget to subscribe. If you subscribe, you will get or you can turn on notifications when I am live. So, and don't forget there are other people here who have YouTube accounts as well, which is always fun to follow, who are here. People who are here, like Hippo. Olinda has a YouTube as well. Maddie says, Tammy, are you part of Florida Native Indigenous communities? All right, just moving on to getting some atmosphere down here. Still, it's amazing how light you have to go with your with the colors sometimes. I really, honestly, I think I underestimate how pigmented some of these pigments are and saturated they are, that it picks up so much color, and then I'm using so much white, so I have to be a little bit better at my mixing. Okay, I'm gonna get a cleaner brush for that. Okay, the water. There is a tiny line that goes along here, and I could just leave the line or the paper. And I'm going to use a little bit of this color while I've got it in my brush, so not to waste it. I'm going to use it for the water here. So there's a definite movement or direction of the water here. Make it a little bit greener. How do I get a flat? I don't know if it'll go flat. Okay, I'm going to put this color on, then I'll come back in and go darker. Yeah, it's a little bit softer there. All right. Oh, Mocha Tribe. Annette Shah, you have a lovely rust brown color. How'd you get it? Oh, that was, I have alizarin crimson in my palette. Alizarin crimson and ultramarine, and then a little bit of the lemon yellow. So there you go. Ratio wise, I couldn't tell you. But I think it's the alizarin and the lemon yellow with a little bit of oh, which means I need it also in the reflection, but I'm going to do the dark of the reflection first, and then I can put that red over the top. Tammy says she just loves mocha coffee. I used to have a coffee group years ago. Hippo says this painting is already gorgeous. Oh, thank you, Hippo. Yeah, I need the reflections, which I will do, which means I have to repaint. But that's okay. Or remix, rather. And I need some lighter colors back here as well, but I'll do that afterwards. Definitely need more green down lower. I'm loving this flat brush. This is the brush that Sarah sent me, or the brushes that Sarah sent me, and I'm really enjoying the big flat. Ooh, that water's just gone way off the page. I should really tape them, but I don't think about that in the mornings. Okay, so this water needs to be a lot softer up here, and I can make it a little bit grayer too. Let's try and get the color at the bottom. I have have a little bit of green here on my palette, which I want to lift. I don't know if you can see that. No, you can't see that. This one's fun, but it's quite challenging. I think all of them have been challenging. Everyone's like, oh, I don't know, like, yeah, I've been challenged daily, that's for sure, with this month. I don't know about you guys. Okay, I like that gray. There's such a subtlety in water, like whether it's a reflection or whether it's the movement or whether it's the, like, I feel it, that's for me the hard part, is trying to get those subtleties within the pieces, and also like just line and shape in your, like, I feel like this needs to come a bit, it needs to change direction slightly, but then it's for the perspective, right? I may have to do that with some darker color as well. This can be even lighter over here. Then I have to wait for it to dry because there may be areas that could be lighter. When it dries lighter sometimes too. Good morning, Leslie. How are you? Early morning fog, lovely Shah. And Julia, hi Julia, good evening, just popped in. Your painting is already beautiful, thank you so much. Leslie says, good morning, sorry I had to take Alan to pick up his bike. Looks like Northern Scotland. It is Northern Scotland, good job, well done. Nellie says, oh, I see, yes, I live in between Native Indigenous communities. My grandmother was an amateur Native Indigenous communities historian, even though, oh, my grandmother, even though she was Ukrainian, I'm so lucky she inspired me. Oh, that's great. In the history of Native Indigenous Americans in my state, Ontario, Canada, is such an interesting, yes. well, many of our provinces, because we're not a state, we're province, we're a province. Province of Ontario, Natty. Yes, there is a lot of history here. And everywhere you go, there is paid respect to Native American land or Indigenous land that we have occupied. In schools, they don't say the Lord's Prayer anymore. They give a respectful not a shout out, a respectful honorary note to Indigenous, the Indigenous land that we have occupied here in Ontario. I'm sure they do it all over Canada, but I think it's nice. And Tammy says, I'm not familiar with the history. I will have to look it up. We went to Ottawa years ago and there seemed to be a fairly large community there. I love Ottawa, wanted to stay. I love Ottawa too. Leslie's up in Ottawa. Leslie says, we're in Scotland. We have the Highland Games here in our small town. That's fun. And Natty says she'd love to take a long trip through Canada, hoping to buy a tiny cottage there, then travel from there. Oh, I'd love to buy a tiny cottage here in Ontario. Unfortunately, they go for millions of dollars, even the small ones. It's crazy. Crazy, crazy. But hey, if you buy a little cottage, we'll come visit you, Natty. Canada has become very expensive, especially Ontario. It's a little bit scary because I'm not sure how our kids are going to survive. I mean, of course they'll survive, but they won't be able to buy a home for a long time. It's Loch Lubnaig in Callander, Scotland. Martina says, love the colours and patterns. And Leslie says, come visit Natty. Tammy, we have Cayuga Nation, Oneida, Indian Nation, Onondaga Nation, St. Regis, Mohawk Tribe, Seneca Nation of Indians, Shinecock Indian Nation towards Seneca Nation, and Tuscarora Nation. That's a lot of nations. I think, Natty, because you're so close to Ontario, I think there's some overlap there. Like, I recognize some of the names. So I think there's quite a few overlapping Indigenous tribes in Ontario. I mean, to them, land was land. They didn't, you know, they had their names for the land, but they didn't call it Canada and the US. That was our doing. Okay, I need some reflections in the water. I also want some lighter areas down here. And we're running out of time. There is a bit of a speckle on, I'm gonna think if I can get, I have this brush. Let's just get a little bit of texture down here. Really would like a little bit of a larger bristle for this and not so uniform. I'm taking away a lot of that dark water. Sometimes I get really engrossed in what I'm doing. I forget to look up, like look at it. This is where oil paints would come in really handy, because they'd be lovely and smooth and you could just move them around a little bit. I don't think it has to be exact. I'm just gonna try and get some of the movement here. Sorry, this is my zone out time when I'm just focused on trying to get this finished. Okay, so right back here it can be a little bit darker, but I want to keep some of those light areas. Also, there's some reflections, so I can get those in as well. Yeah, And if you're still here, I think it's the alizarin crimson is what really gets that nice rust color. Thank you, Tammy. Thank you, Natty. Oh, Tammy says, what type of paperweight are you using? The paper I have been using for gouache is okay, but it starts getting bits of paper coming up if I try to rework it. Okay, so with gouache, you definitely don't want to reactivate on the page. Like, your first layer can be nice and loose or nice and thin, but then your layers after that, like, I don't know if you can see, like, my gouache is not swimming in water at all. Like, I tried to keep it quite dry. And this way, like, even my mixing with this brush is not, I'm just taking it straight from the paint and just wetting my brush slightly so that it gets, it's quite thick, my paint. So I try and make sure that I'm not re-wetting the layers underneath. And remember to breathe, because that's, when I'm sighing like that, that means I've forgotten to breathe, and I'm like, okay, I gotta breathe, I gotta breathe. So we only have 2 more days live here, and then we will be, on Friday, we will be starting a new month. So if you want to join us and become part of our monthly drawing community, go to the link in my Substack and join. You can either join for $5 a month, or you can become a founding for, I think it's 110 a year or something like that, which is the same price as it was over on my Patreon. Okay, I'm going to turn my brush because there's a side of my brush which is not, and I haven't finished because I need to also look at this, the fog. So I understand if you have to go. Thank you for joining. Make sure you give me a thumbs up. And if you're watching this afterwards, please do comment and say hi, because it's nice to know that you have come to watch after the fact. Okay, let's have a look. I'm not sure if I love this bit over here. I can correct that. This is the nice thing about gouache as well. So it does act a little bit like oil paints that you can reactivate, which is great. Okay, I think I'm going to leave it like that because if not, I'm going to be messing around. The fog, I'm going to bring it down a little bit. Also, please feel free to share your work if you do paint along with us in the morning. Just use the hashtag Char's Art Class and then 0725. Whatever month it is and the year, that's usually the hashtag that gets used. We used to just use Char's Art Class, and if you go on there, you can see there's lots of things on there. But what happened with the algorithm, it stopped showing us the latest. So then we got all confused and I couldn't see things. So now we use the hashtag of the month and the year after Char's Art Class, and that seems to work. So if you are drawing with us and you want to see what other people are drawing, use the hashtag. Again, gotta remember to breathe. I can hear little Piper, her footsteps outside my door. All right, everyone. A little bit of cloud reflection here. Also here. I hope you all have great days. We don't have any, there are no workshops today. The workshop is tomorrow, and tomorrow's workshop is all about basically using shapes and paint, and the workshop is called From Blank Pages to Beautiful Chaos. I think it's Beautiful Chaos. Anyway, it's a still life workshop. If you want to join, you can sign up on my website, and that's at 10 a.m. tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern. I may have to use another brush. Let's use this one. Just to soften. I don't want to blend the two, I just want to soften the edge. You have to, see, it did it. I don't want to lift. That's the thing with, you almost need to just dry brush over. I think I should stop. Thank you for joining this morning, everybody, and thank you for the image. It was a beautiful, beautiful image. Thank you, Susan. I'm going to be playing around and touching it up. And if you're here and you want to support my mornings because you don't want to be part of a Substack or anything, I do have a Ko-fi page if you want to buy me a Ko-fi or put towards, I can put it towards art materials, and that is in my description as well. So if you would rather that because you don't have time to be part of a group or anything and you just like enjoying watching my demos, then please, if you want to support, that is also a possibility. Okay, get smoother over here. This is where the round brush would definitely come in handy. I'm going to just switch to the round. My water is very dirty, but that's okay because I kind of want it to be a little bit off-white. And I also take commissions, so if you have a place that you have been and you want a painting of it, get in contact with me. I can tell you how much it will be. Yeah, this is my life, this is my living, this is what I do. So if you're interested in something or a painting of a place you've been, I also do commissions for people. And I'm just bad at advertising because, you know, artists usually are bad at advertising things like that. I feel like the clouds can be a little bit duller over there as well. The mist. I think I got it a little bit too too white. Also break up these lines. Thank you, everybody. All right, I'm done. As I just keep going. No, I'm gonna sign this one and call it a day. So we just have a couple more demos on water. I hope you've all enjoyed working on your water as well this month. What was it called again? Lock. Oh, Anne says, so we post it on our own site and then tag you, hashtag Shah's Art Class. Yeah, you don't need the apostrophe, and just Shah's Art Class and then 725. Yeah, that's right. Shah's Art. Is it 0725? I think it is 0725. Thank you, Nick. Natty says, if I was a lottery winner, I'd buy Shah's sketchbooks and put them in Buffalo Museum under glass where the pages could be turned by a machine every 25 minutes. Aw, thanks. Thank you, Natty. And Tammy says, thanks again. So beautiful and amazing to watch. You're very welcome. I'm just going to call it, what is it? What was it? Lock. Is Susan still here? I can scroll up. Let's have a look. Hippo says, I never draw while watching your YouTube lives. I can't help but watching you paint. I've come to terms with it. Oh, thank you. All right, where? Oh, here. Loch Lubnaig. Lubnaig. Is that right? Yeah. Okay. Well, that was fun, a fun challenge. Thank you all so much. And I will be here tomorrow morning and I will see you then. Have a good day, everybody.